Score Utah 105, Boston.
Woof. Vomit. The Utah Jazz? If you're coming home from the game tonight, how do you feel about that one? This is the kind of loss that makes you think about the entire season. Where do we even start? I mean, they had the fewest made threes attempting 50 or more threes in a game in team history. It was the worst three-point shooting night in history. In the organization of the Celtics, they played 73 games, Skaz, where they've shot 50 or more threes. Tonight was the fewest amount of threes, 11, in the 73-game history of 50 more threes in a game for the Celtics. So essentially, it was the worst three-point shooting night in the history of the Celtics organization. The Celtics organization that goes back to the Buffalo, whatever. Where the hell was it again? It's been a long time. There's a lot of numbers up there, right? I mean, they didn't even have the three-point line at one point. This game wasn't lost because of the threes, but they broke the record for the most amount of threes ever in a game. And to be factual, I had a little hyperbole there. When shooting 50 or more in a game, why are they shooting 50 threes? Why are they shooting 50? They get a 50 burger on threes, Skaz.
Forgive me, Joe. I may have forgotten, but what is Joe Mazzulla's most important stat in basketball?
Oh, it was a 2-on-1, right? It was 2-on-1?
The most important stat in basketball is not three-pointers made, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. It's taken.
3-point attempts. So they achieved that goal tonight, right? Zach, do you get a win for that? They took a lot of threes. That's a good thing, we were told, right?
Yeah. It's probably where I should not lead off. But when you when you have the worst shooting night, and to be clear on this one more time, because I got it from NBC Sports Boston it's in my face. 73 times they've shot 50 or more threes in a game, the Celtics.
It's a decent amount. It's a good sample size.
11 is the fewest they've ever made.
I would say that's bad.
It's the worst ever.
Do you think shooting threes works better when Jason Tatum is healthy and you have Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis on your roster and Derek White's a fourth option and maybe a third option at times? Do you think maybe then it's an okay philosophy?
Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah, I'll say this. I used to love Mazzulla ball. Right?
We all did, Joe.
Throwing in the towel. Tonight, you know how like in Rocky, told him to throw in Rocky 4.
Thank you for specifying.
Wanted him to throw the towel. Duke said, dude, throw the towel. And Rocky didn't do it because he promised Apollo, don't do it. I think they should throw the towel in on the 51-0 game.
I would say 51 is too much. I think we could agree on that.
I think like 43 and a half.
43 and a half threes.
I don't want this 50-50 yes anymore, Skaz. 50-50 no. 50-50 no tonight. I can't believe we're getting back. A 50 burger. Dude,
Not the good kind.
Do you know what the Joe math is on this, by the way?
Please.
11 of 51. Okay, let's try it. Ready? 2. Okay. So 50 is 2-1, right? 21, 22, 21. 21.6. They shot 21.6%. Okay. This wasn't the biggest issue tonight.
No, that's kind of the scary thing, almost, is that they shot that poorly and we're still in the game, which I guess you could say is a good thing. Yeah. But the rebounding wasn't great. The coaching and the play from your star player at the end of the game also not great. Derek White continuing to slump through the first quarter of a season. Not great. We got a Chris Boucher sighting, though.
He had a 3.
He did in the third quarter. That was
he hit one. His first one
nice
ever.
to see him.
That's what I heard he could do well, because I haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen much of it. That's what you want, though. You want your center going out there and shooting the 3.
What'd you guys talk about on the Green Teamers? Was it Sunday? Yeah,
Sunday, we were pretty positive for the most. It was a good week for the Celtics. They got smoked by the Rockets, but that was kind of
knew that one was coming.
To be expected. So we were slightly positive yesterday. I think if we were recording right now, the tone would be not as positive, Joe. Not as positive. I think a lot of frustration for Missoula, for the rebounding issues, They were up in the rebounding battle. They were up by 5 in the first quarter, and then it was
really?
yes, and then it was they were down 19 at one point. It might have finished even worse than that in the rebounding battle. So this is a team with issues, and as that fourth quarter was going on, you wanted to give them credit. You wanted to give Jaylen Brown and Derek White credit for, battling through the early game struggles, battling through. Jaylen Brown started driving to the hoop. What a crazy concept. Scored 6 in a row. That was, good to see. Derek White finally hit a 3-pointer, and then it kind of just all unravels in that last 30 seconds. And the numbers post-game show you how bad it was and how lucky they almost got. But I think there are numerous red flags that come out of that game.
So shooting 50 or more threes in a game and only hitting 11 is the only time it's ever happened. It's the lowest time it's ever happened.
Bad.
That's not even like the main story of what happened tonight. Yes, they got out-rebounded, Skaz, 55-36, which is very bad. They can't rebound. They had multiple leads. They give them up. Where they lost tonight was personnel. The final play of the game, there's a shot in the air. Neemias Queta tried to switch. He found Nurkic. And, Skaz, I learned back at Sacred Heart and playing in high school, again, Catholic Suburban League champion, what you would do is you play ball and you play men, okay? Where's the ball? Where's your man? And I think Queta looked for the ball and didn't find his man and didn't box out Nurkic. And Nurkic just reached over him. How tall is Queta again? Just maybe we can get the tail of the tape on that one, guys. But he didn't box him out. He didn't find his man and stick his rear end into him. And I'm being serious. Queta allowed the offensive putback by Nurkic on the final play. Oh, on the final basket, I should say. Just watch the play. There's no real analysis. The ball's in the air. You find your man. You box him out. You get the rebound. You go to overtime. It sounds really easy, right? It sounds easy. But Queta didn't box out Nurkic enough. Nurkic reached over him. No over the back, no nothing. Clean play. And put the ball back in the net. That was it. That's one. That's number. I got a 4-point plan over here, Skaz, by the way. That's why they lost number 1 right there, okay? There was a weird non-tripping call that happened. Should we say it was a non-call, Skaz? Non-call?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it was a trip. It probably should have been called. It should have been called a foul. It was not called a foul.
They let them play in a close game. We're mad about that, though, right?
I think after the result, Celtics fans are certainly mad about it.
So, me personally, I thought I actually liked the refs letting them play. I did. The Celtics made a huge comeback. Like, they were down big. They came back. They took the lead. It was a boxing match.
I also think they got I don't want to call it lucky, but makeup calls happen. We're all aware of them. The Jazz got called, I think it was Nurkic, a 3-second violation, late defensive 3 seconds for, basically a free point there. So that's not something you always see called in a close game. So I wonder if that was, hey, we messed up. But who knows? Jaylen Brown was giving it to the officials during that play, the end of the game. He was very upset.
So that's where I'm going with this. Jaylen Brown lost his composure. And this is a 2-point take here of why they lost tonight. I don't know or understand the play that Joe Mazzulla called with 0.6 seconds left. I don't understand it. It was a whiteboard play where you got the whiteboard and you say, this is what we're going to do. There's 0.6 seconds left. So you have a couple of options, right? Quick shot, maybe throw an alley-oop at the basket. Maybe there's a come off a screen, take a three, right? So there's a few options there. This is just Coach Joe Murray now. Just, you could, there's a lot of things you can do. You can have your inbounder pass it in and take it back. There's a lot there. But the play design was Jaylen Brown on the left elbow of the basket, coming up to the foul line and then bouncing outside for a three? Is that fair to say, Skaz, or was it a two?
I think it seemed more like a baseline jumper kind of. He was going towards the baseline.
Okay. So he went up towards the foul line, pushed off aggressively, and then made the move towards the baseline. For a shot, though. He was over aggressive. He was frustrated. He lost composure. It was a foul, and they lose the game. Jaylen Brown kept them in the game all night long. He had 38 points. He was the reason why they were in it. He lost his cool at the end of the game. He's not going to like this. He's not going to like what I have to say right now. But this is supposed to be Jaylen Brown's year. This is supposed to be where he shows what he can do. That was a bad moment. You had a great night, 38 points. You did shoot 8 for 9 from 3. I don't think the three-point philosophy helped you. That's why I ask again, was that a 3? I guess he was going to the baseline if I look at it again. Jaylen Brown lost his composure. He needs to be better than that. He fouled him. It was intentional. Jaylen Brown's too skilled for that crap. That was crap. Jaylen Brown, you're too skilled for that, man. You need to run to the foul line and bounce off the elbow with your ability because you have that. You don't play that style, Jaylen Brown. That's not you. You lost your composure and you lost your team's, chance for a win or even a tie for that matter. I hated the play call. Hated it. Because lately, all the calls out of timeouts of late have been to one person. There's never a second option. Friday night, inbounds play. The only person who could get the ball was Peyton Pritchard. By the way, who made the final turnover in that game? Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown scored 38 points. What did it do for them? Yeah, it kept him in the game, but what happened with the game on the line? He caused his own turnover with losing his composure. Nah, they lost. Anything else?
I mean, if you want to look big...
Give me more on the Jaylen Brown thing, though. Like to me, yeah, I think he lost his composure. He doesn't need to play like that. He doesn't need to play like that.
No,
that
but
was too aggressive.
I wonder if he feels like he does on this roster with this team. You could kind of see it in the fourth quarter where he realized we're falling behind again. Someone has to, step up, take over, and he did that. He was driving to the hoop. He was making, good aggressive basketball plays, and then the tripping call happened. And I think you're right. I think he kind of lost his mind a little bit. You saw him getting into it with the refs. It didn't end, when the next play happened, he was still aggravated by it. And I think you saw it in that final play when he pushed off. He kind of just lost his cool. And I think that's a piece Jaylen Brown's going to have to, grow. He's going to have to learn to deal with stuff like that when you're the star of the team, the focal point of the offense, all those things that he has become with Jason Tatum out. Now it falls on his shoulders. That final play, that final possession is going to rely on him, and he can't have those mental lapses. Like
he did it the other night. And this is where I'm going with this. Like, Jaylen Brown wants to be the guy's guys, right? Is he showing he has the composure for it? And I know he's won an NBA. I get it. He's won. He doesn't have the roster around him, and I agree with you.
I would say yes, he has in most cases. Like early throughout the beginning of the season, I've been impressed with Jaylen Brown, his leadership when he takes over. Like I think he's done pretty well. He's passed the ball more efficiently, but you've seen an instance like this where he loses his cool and it costs his team potentially a game. And who knows if he makes the shot, all that. And to me, the bigger picture thing is why they were in that spot in the first place. It's the three-point shooting. It's Derek White continuing to struggle. Peyton Pritchard continuing to, not be as effective as he was off the bench. Things like that. Chris Boucher continuing to make little to no impact. Josh Minott, you can't rely on every night. And that's not Josh Minott's fault. That's who he is. He's 22 years old, and he was a bench guy before this season. So they're going to have a lot of uphill battles. Tonight shouldn't have been an uphill battle for this team. That Jazz team was slightly shorthanded, not a very good basketball team outside of Lauri Markkanen, and that was a very winnable game, a game that if you played even somewhat respectable, normal basketball, that they come away easily with a win. But because of their rebounding issues, their size issues, the roster construction, and how Mazzulla still wants to coach them with the three-pointers, you lose that basketball game. And so are they going to change? I don't think so. So this is where the math and all that, I'm very interested to see the post-game quotes. Are we going to get, the math would work out? I've been refreshing Twitter, seeing what is said. I haven't seen much yet other than Derek White saying, he's just, I use some swears I can't say, but Derek White basically said he was a reason the Jazz got back into the game. And I appreciate the accountability, but it doesn't do you any good afterwards, They shot themselves in the foot tonight, Joe. A bad loss at home. I think they're 1-3 at home now. They're not a very good basketball team, and they can't make mistakes like this if they're going to win games in the NBA.
Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. If we were just hanging out at the bar, I would tell you, dude, the roster's not good enough. They don't have it this year. Their roster doesn't have it. They're limited. They can't rebound. They can't. They're going to get out-rebounded by 20 every night. I'm sure on the flip side, you could say that Jaylen Brown did everything tonight he could to keep the Celtics in the game. Right? I think you could say that if you, want. I think I'm more critical about what happened on the final play. He lost his composure, man. This is the finals MVP, guys. I know he can do it. This isn't me saying he can't do it.
This from a friend of the show, Zach Cox, said Jaylen Brown said the no call on the trip was unacceptable and some BS.
He's got to get over that. I'm sorry, dude. Final play of the game, you got to get over that. You need to make them pay. Jaylen Brown's won a MVP of the finals. This is not me questioning his ability. Right? We all know the ability that Jaylen Brown has. He's still not over it. The game's been over for how long? 25 minutes? He's still mad about a tripping call that they missed. But you're getting the final shot to win the game. What's more important, Jaylen? It's frustrating. Chris in Plainville, how you doing, bud?
Hey, guys. Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, is like a Batman without his Robin, Tatum, or vice versa. You can reverse it if you need to. The 3-point shots. I mean, look, I'm old school. I will always be old school, and I can't watch basketball, being played like the way it's being played right now. But, it's just not right. It's just bad basketball. And you know what? If that's what this game is devolved into, damn, it's not that good.
Yeah, and I will say this, Chris. There are other teams that do shoot 50 tonight's unacceptable. But are there teams that shoot between 37 and 40? Yeah, there are. And they're good teams, though. Chris, this was bad because of the roster tonight. The roster's bad, and I think we need to realize this is what ownership did. They blew up the team, and they think that Jaylen Brown and a couple of fringe guys, the fringe guys become worse now, right? Derek White's not getting it. Peyton Pritchard's doing what he can, but that's what he can. Simons
Right.
is coming off the bench. It's just they don't have it, man. They just don't have it.
Right. You know what? I love White, and I like Pritchard, but it's just not enough, and it sucks. It's painful to watch.
It's sad. Chris, you sound dejected, bro. You sound dejected, my man.
Well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, you can't sugarcoat this one.
That's what it is.
Thanks,
Take
Chris.
care.
Appreciate you, bud. Listen, Chris has been calling me for 15 years here on the Sports Hub.
You talk him off the ledge there, Joey. It sounds like he's out on NBA basketball.
No, I think he's out on this team's style of basketball.
Yeah.
Like guys. Okay, all right. I was watching the game with your cohort, Jake Seymour, tonight.
Who sees more, Joe?
Sees more. Jake sees more. We're working on it. Everybody.
New segment incoming.
You should have seen intern Mark try to help, too. He's like, I think we should keep the Seymour in there. And Jake's like, yeah, just take the Jake out. It's just funny. He's also texting us during the show because he's listening on his way home. He goes, remember the most important stat in basketball? Our 3-pointers attempted.
The Green Teamers are on the same page. We know the talking points.
I will let you know that tonight they scored the fewest amount of threes when shooting 50 or more tonight. I'll say this, guys, if there's common themes, because again, like last year we had to work the Bruins games when they were bad and tanking, and so I had to come up with something. So this is the four things that I think the Celtics consistently just are bad at.
Are these in order, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with number 4 or number 1?
Let's go. All right. Number 4 is the strategy.
Bad strategy. I would agree.
Very bad strategies. I think you got guys that can take it to the rim a little bit more. And when your best shooter scores 38 points and you 0 for 9 from the field, I feel like some other guys might be able to get more points if they had a little bit more of a inside the 3 line. Now, I'm not saying they're shooting too many threes.
They are. But can I give you something on that, too? Because you mentioned Jake, and this is something that Jake has mentioned the last 2, maybe even 3 weeks on the Green Teamers. Listen where podcasts are available. But Derek White, the way they're coaching Derek White and trying to make Derek White like Steph Curry, and I know Felger's mentioned it, too, his 3-point attempts and stuff like that, but Derek White is a slasher. He's a guy that can create space, create offense.
He's a glue guy, man. He's a good player, but he's a glue guy.
He's a glue guy, but he's not a dead set 3-point shooter.
Curry, bro.
He's not Steph Curry, and that's they're almost devaluing Derek White's overall game because of how he's just become a spot-up shooter, basically.
Correct.
And I think that goes into the strategy. Like, to get the most out of the guys on this roster, you need to coach to the roster, not have the roster play to the strategy. When the roster is as talented as it was last year, the roster can play to the strategy. This roster is not talented enough to play to any strategy. Yeah. The strategy has to adapt to the roster.
Yeah, I not to cross sports here, but I think the Patriots had a strategy the first couple of weeks, and they changed it because of the talent that they had, and it's working. Number 3 on the list. So I'm going 4, 3, 2, 1, everybody. I think strategy is 4. It's not even number 1. It's 4. Number 3 is rebounding. They're horrible at rebounding. They don't have bigs. We don't need to look at the stat sheet to know that they can't rebound the basketball. They can't. They can't rebound the ball. And tonight was just horrible. I'll just tell you the box score if you didn't watch the game. They got out-rebounded tonight. It was really bad, 55-36. And on the final play, they get beat. So we got strategy, we got rebounds. Number 2 is struggling to shoot. How many nights does somebody struggle shooting? The Celtics shot plenty of threes. 11 of 51, 21.6. Crushed them. Crushed them. They got to find a way to score without shooting threes. And I think they have Peyton Pritchard who can do that. I think Derek White can live off the 3-point line. I'm wondering if they need to let some of the younger guys play a little bit more, too. That's besides the point. Number one is they keep falling short. They look like they're going to win. They blow the lead. They look like they're in it. They blow the lead. They go out to a big lead. They blow it. They come down. They tie it. They keep falling short. And there's a reason behind it. And I think it's their coach. The number one issue is their roster. They don't have bigs. They don't have front court help. They can't rebound. So every night, they lose the rebounding edge. When they don't shoot threes well, they lose. Jaylen Brown had 38 points tonight, and none of them were threes. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, the fact that the team plays like that. Let's take a couple of calls here. We got Keith in Londonderry. Keith.
Hey, Joe. So I agree with you. The roster, lots of issues. The strategy, lots of issues. But in my mind, what it came down to tonight is that Joe Mazzulla can't harness and redirect Jaylen Brown after he gets bent over, bent out of shape over that tripping call. The best coaches, Phil Jackson, Riley, all these guys can harness the energies of their players and redirect them into a way where they can perform at their best. And Mazzulla's just not doing that.
Yeah, I think the out-of-bounds play has been bad too, Keith. I don't think...
Absolutely. But if Mazzulla is able to calm him down and get him to focus, like you were saying, make them pay.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't push off in that way, and you've actually got a shot.
Yep. Appreciate it, Keith. Yeah, listen. I don't know, Skaz. I know we got a couple of minutes here, but do you think I haven't thought about it, so Keith's at least making me think about it. Do you think Joe Mazzulla needs to sit with Jaylen Brown before that play and be like, hey, man, we got to get over that tripping foul. We need you here. Like, I know he's a professional, right? Like, you don't do that.
That's a tough spot. Like, maybe in hindsight you want to say that, but Jaylen Brown, like you said, Finals MVP, he's been in the league 9 years at this point or whatever it is. Like,
but here we are, we're discussing this?
He's the veteran in the locker. Like, maybe not a sit down, but just, hey, maybe just let's come on now. We got to win this game. Just more. This from Bobby Manning, friend of the night show. Jaylen post game. Y'all gonna get me? I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Y'all gonna get me fined? You can't have a mistake like that as an official at that point in the game, and the whole staff blows the effing call. It cost us the game. Unacceptable.
Didn't.
You can make mistakes at any point, but right there, unacceptable. Then they're telling me we didn't see it. How'd none of you see it? You can trip somebody in the fourth quarter, and then it just be a no call. It's some BS.
It was a no call. He tried to. They both slipped, if you really want to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it was clearly unintentional, and it should have been called a foul, and it wasn't.
They were down 103-102. It would have put Jaylen at the line. Who would have known he would have hit both free throws? Do we know that?
We certainly don't.
Okay, I'm not. Like, now I sound like I'm being a jerk. I'm not. It was a bad. It was. They missed it, guys. I'm not going to tell you it's smelly or anything like that. It wasn't. Come on, like you guys got to have better composure than that. It's.
I would get more on Mazzulla for the play design on the final play than Jaylen Brown's emotion. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Jake seems to think they were shooting a three. I know you said baseline. Well,
he was headed in that direction, towards the line, or he took the shot from in front of the line, but he was headed that way.
Even intern Mark was showing us how you got to bounce off. You got to bounce off the foul line.
He's giving us some hockey talk.
You got to bounce right off it, man. All right, this hour of the sports has been brought to you by who? Super Service Today.